Welcome back to Growing Craft. Please do subscribe to our channel before we start this video and do not forget to hit the bell icon so that you do not miss out any of our updates. Also do check our website www.growingcraft.com and let's get started. Now here is a beautiful decoupage napkin which we will be using in our today's artwork. Now before we start using our decoupage napkin, there are a few things which you need to know about. Now decoupage napkins are as good as the tissues which we use on our regular basis, but these have some of the beautiful and amazing printed designs. And yes, of course, either we can use the complete sheets or we can use just some part of the napkin to decorate our artwork. Now here I am using my brush water technique to make sure that whichever design I want has been trimmed down really well and I can use it on my base. Now this is one of the techniques of trimming down your decoupage napkin design. You can even do the fussy cutting work. If you don't know what is fussy cutting work, there is a video on my YouTube channel. You can check that and I'm sure that is going to be really helpful. Now, as I have used water on my decoupage tissue, it is going to be really wet from the sides and it is very important to dry this up completely. So here I am using one of my favorite tool, that's heat gun, and this makes my work much more easier in removing the plies of my tissues. Now you will see me that removing the ply becomes much more easier, and yes, each decoupage tissue has 2 layers or 3 layers of plies which you need to remove. It depends on the different type of napkins. Now as I'm working on an MDF base, the base was not very smooth, so I had to prep up my base. Now many of you have been asking me, what is prepping up your basements? So what happens is, whenever we work on any of the surfaces, each surfaces are not very good to adapt all this colors in the mediums whatever we are going to use on the top of it. So that's the reason I love using my white color gesso. If you have not checked the video on how to make your own gesso, you can check that on my channel. Yes, if you check down and scroll down to my channel, you will see a lot of DIY videos of even the craft supplies which you can make at home. Now I am applying a coat of white gesso and I'm going to make sure that there are no patches or no marks, and once I'm happy with it, then we will move on to the next step. Like I said, one of my super tool is heat gun. Why? Because it really saves your time in the drying process. Otherwise it's going to take good half an hour, 1 hour's time for each of the processes to dry out, at least on the basic level. So yes, heat gun is a tool which I highly recommend. You cannot DIY this, you need to buy this, and I have already mentioned the link in the comment section. You can check that. So yes, heat guns are completely different from your hair dryer. I have also done a detailed video on what is the difference between heat gun and your hair dryer. There is a hell lot of difference, and I know unless until you do it and you try it, you won't be able to understand. So honestly, when I started crafting, I literally did not buy this tool for at least 4-5 years because I just felt that I can manage with my hair dryer. But the day I thought that yes, I can spend money on my heat gun, I got one, and it is like why I did not bought this tool earlier. So yeah, that is how your heat gun makes you feel once you buy it, that why you did not buy it earlier. So yes, do buy this tool and I'm sure you are not going to regret that. So now while talking to you, I have already done the second coat of gesso. Now why white color gesso? Because with your decoupage napkins, you need to have a white color base so that the color pops out really well. While saying this does not mean that you cannot use the black color gesso or the clear gesso. Yes, absolutely you can use that too. But it depends on the kind of look and feel you want for your project. So here we are done with our prepping up our base, and now it's time to stick our decoupage napkin, and for that I am using my Mod Podge. Now this is one of the another like magic supplies which we can have for our decoupage and mixed media art, and this is one of the best adhesives to stick your decoupage napkins. Now for applying this, I'm using a round brush. The kind of brushes you want, or you want a sponge rubber, it's absolutely fine. Now usually whenever I do sticking work of my decoupage napkin, so how I do it, I apply a coat of decoupage glue or the Mod Podge, then I stick my napkin, then with a complete dry brush I just try to remove all the bubbles and wrinkles out there. There are many other techniques also, like in my previous video I had done it with a plastic sheet, where I just rubbed my plastic sheet on the top of it. It worked really well. You can use your sponge dauber, which I have been like using on most of my videos. So yeah, all these techniques are also there. You can just check my videos with the different ways of using your tools to stick your decoupage napkins. Now this is done and I need to dry this up. I know this is looking like a long process, but this is actually a kind of therapy which is a must for everyone to try out. I am sure you all are going to love this. Now till then my napkin is drying out, I just thought of doing some stencil work. Now whenever we are doing our stencil work, it is very important to have a good stencil brushes. If you are specially planning to work with your stencils and the chalk paints or the acrylic paints, they work pretty well. Now here I am just trying to take a tinge of color on my stencil brush, removing all the excessive on my acrylic block and making it much more smoother for me to work on the base. Now here you can see me, I am doing it in on anti-clockwise direction. You can do it as per your convenience, but moving it in a round direction really helps in giving a nice color to your background. Now honestly, I just feel that the stencil should always be of a very bigger size, so that at one go I can just do my design on my artwork. But all the designs are not available on bigger sizes, so 8x4 is the standard size of stencil which is available in the with most of the brands. Like maybe you just call it for the Indian brand or the international brand. Yes, 8x4 is the basic standard size what you get mostly. Now with many of the other brands also, you get the stencils of 6x6, 8x8, then even 12x12. So yes, but the designs are still limited. I'm hoping that maybe in a couple of years the varieties of designs for the bigger stencils will be much more available in the markets. So yes, this was again a therapeutic step to do on your base. Now here I have taken an MDF base. You can work out on any of the bases like this, and I'm sure you are going to love this. So here I'm almost done with my stencil work and this looks absolutely gorgeous. Now immediately my base is looking so pretty and so beautiful. And yes, of course, when I say mixed media and decoupage art, so adding clay work is my new love for the clays and the molds. And yes, I have around 50 to 60 varieties of designs of molds with me, and I absolutely love using them. But yeah, few of them are my favorites, like this one, the pearl necklace mold. I think the name of this one, I will mention the link in the description box. You can check that. And this is one of the beautiful molds what you can have. Now here I'm using an air dry clay, and you can see that I'm using it in a bits and pieces, and this is going to take just a bit of time. You need to make sure that you press your clay really well, because if there are any gaps, that you will be see only once your clay work is done. So please be a little careful when you are doing this. Now honestly, when you are doing this step, you really don't need any powder or talcum powder or anything on your molds. You just need to use your good quality clay and a good quality silicone mold, and that's it. So yeah, here I am almost done with doing my beads work. Now honestly, when this comes out like a pearl necklace, and this looks gorgeous and beautiful. And just because it has a flat surface, it makes your work much more easier on how to stick these. So here I am taking a very small amount of clay and pressing it well, and I'm just trying to make sure that my pearl chain comes out in one string. Now honestly, when I was trying these molds, it was really difficult for me. I was struggling a lot with these ones, but honestly, after working on a couple of projects, then I realized that what are the tips and tricks. I'm planning to make a video on that also very soon. If you want me to come up with such kind of videos, please do let me in the comment section. Also do let me know if you want me to come up with anything new when it comes to art and craft. I will be more than happy to bring it to you guys. So yes, whenever you are using your air dry clay, please do make sure that you do not use your heat guns. I tried it with some of my projects and I honestly ruined it. Trust me friends, I ruined that project. So please be careful. Do not use your heat guns on your air dry clay. It is just going to shrink them a little bit, like get some cracks on it. So avoid using your heat gun for this particular clay work. Now adding these clay, either you can get the colorful clays, or usually what I like having is a plain white color clay, and when I use it on my base, then I do a lot of color blending and coloring techniques, which I absolutely love. And now it's time to remove the beads. So here you just need to be a little careful, and I'm sure you are going to love the final results. So yes, a lot of talking and a lot of work was really going on at the back end when I was trying to make this beads, and you can see this looks so pretty and so gorgeous. Now I am just going to use my Mod Podge. This is, I think, one of the best sellers when it comes to you stick your clay embellishments, and I love using these on my projects. So here with a thin brush I am applying a coat of Mod Podge on the borders. Now as my chalk paint has even not dried out completely, so I have to be a little careful. That's why you will see me doing this very gently. I could have edited this video in a speed process, but I really wanted to share all these teeny mini tips with you all guys, so that you all can avoid doing such mistakes. Like if you don't let your paints dry out completely, it is just going to smudge. So yes, you have to be a little careful when you are doing these steps. Now once I am done with the application of Mod Podge, then I'm going to stick this. Now here is another thing which I realized over the time. So when I started doing this bead work, initially I was trying to take out the complete piece at a time, like pick up complete piece and then stick it. So it was really difficult. Then I figured out this way, that if I take up small bits and pieces of my clay embellishments at a time, it becomes actually much more easier for me to manage this. So instead of just taking up the complete piece, I take out the small pieces and stick it on my bases, and you can see you can't even make out that I had actually cut them into smaller pieces and the parts. So yes, please do keep this in mind, and of course you also need to make sure that whenever you are using these clay embellishments, your DIY embellishments, you need to have a very good adhesive, otherwise everything is just going to be waste. Yes, I have done a couple of videos where I just thought of doing a nice clay work. I used some of the other adhesives which did not work out well, and my whole project was ruined. And honestly, air dry clay is something which is not very cheaper. I personally don't find it very cheaper, because once you get into good quality clay, you will spend up more amount on a good quality clay, and we definitely don't want to waste it just like that. So here I need to make few more beads, and yes, again I have taken up my air dry clay, and very quickly I'm trying to make out some more pearl lines so that I can complete it. So as you can see, like, this process is really easy and super cool. The only thing is, once you once you are done with your application of your elements, of your clay elements, you need to let it dry for a very good time, so that you can start working on the next layer. Honestly, when this was still wet, I started working on it, so I could find a little problem in application of my colors, which you will see now me doing it. So yeah, you just need to take a little precaution when you are doing that. So here I am done with my beads work. I'm just doing the final touch of work, and I'm going to add one teeny mini ball at the center, so that it looks like a complete one piece of chain. And yeah, this looks great and this looks beautiful. Honestly, I'm super happy with the way it has turned out. Now after doing this project, I just felt that I should have used some more other supplies on this one, which I'm going to try out on the other bases which I have already ordered, and they are on their way, and I'm super excited to work on those bases. So that means you will be seeing a lot more creative designs and the projects on my channel. Now it's time to move on to the next step, and for that I really need to zoom in my camera so that I can show you all the detailings. Now, like I mentioned earlier also, you need to let your clay work dry completely, but here I had to finish it because here in Bangalore anyways it's too cold that letting this dry naturally is going to take a lot of time, which I did not wanted to spend on. So now here I will be very gentle with my colors, and here I am using my round brush and just topping the um, top parts of my beads with the red color acrylic paints. Now here is a myth that you cannot use your acrylic colors in your mixed media projects. I honestly do not believe this. There might be some other reasons which I might not know, but I have been doing mixed media for almost 6-7 years now, and I have tried chalk paints, spray paints, shimmer paints, matte mediums and acrylic paints, and honestly everything works perfectly. It, like I always say, depends on what kind of look and feel you want for your project. So yeah, that really matters a lot. Now here I'm doing my coloring work with a round brush. If you want, you can even try up with your stencil brushes, but before that your clay work should be dry out completely. Now, I will be very honest with you, when I was doing this process, I actually wanted to use the gold foiling work, but I was unable to find the gold foiling adhesive, and without that, you cannot do your gold foiling work. So that's the reason I had to switch to the acrylic paint. But finally, when I saw my project, I just whether I should have gone for the acrylic paint, only because this is looking super cute and super beautiful. Now, whenever you're working on these kind of elements, either you can have your hanging at the back, or you can have a magnet, so that makes your artwork so versatile that you can use it in a multiple way. Like, even if I add a hanging at the backing, I can have a magnet, a good round magnet at the back of it, and trust me, like, that is going to look gorgeous, like for your gifting for your loved ones. So this is not only a Christmas ornament, you can even use this as your cute little gift magnet for your kids' birthday, return gifts, or anything like that, and I'm sure all of them are going to love this. Okay, so now here we are almost done. Now with the same brush, I'm just doing a tinge of coloring on the bases also, so that you can see you won't be able to make out any of the white color base borders, and that makes it looks much more natural and beautiful. So here this was a simple technique of color blending. Now we will move on to the next step, but before that we need to make sure that the colors are dried out well. So yes, I will be using my heat gun, and I will try to make sure that it dries up really well. So this is done, and heat gun is a tool, like I said, makes your work much more easier and faster, and that's the reason I could start with my metallic color. So now here this is one of the shimmer paints which I have been using for a lot many projects than I expected, and this is still there. So here I am just adding a tinge of shimmery or metallic colors to my base, and this is just to give it a little more complement color blending. Now later on you will see me doing this step with a tinge of water, and I'm going to make sure that I blend this really well even on the bases also.
À deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter, le bonheur à sculpter, de son ciseau d'orfèvre, des souvenirs impossible à effacer. Le bonheur est passé à deux doigts de nos lèvres, deux doigts si fins que j'ai presque pu le goûter, le bonheur à sculpter, de son ciseau d'orfèvre, des souvenirs impossible à
Now it's time to seal this up, and for sealing this up I'm using my varnish. And yes, with this my project is done. I really hope that you all enjoyed this tutorial. Do let me in the comment section what all projects you want me to come up with, and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.